You see what I did there? I fixed it. I fixed it.
Oh,
I like. That's
What's
very true.
up, everybody? Happy Friday!
hey.
We have made it through another week, and I am
Mm-hmm.
glad about it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Nothing Else to Do. I am your host, Shakara Monique, and we are in the place. We got our peoples, we got our special guests, and I'm ready. I'm excited. Y'all ready? Y'all excited? Everybody good? Everybody
You
good?
Mm-hmm.
already know.
All right, well, let's go ahead. We're going to get into the introductions. Those who are coming in, make sure that you tag somebody and let them know that we are on. Like I said, I'm Shakara Monique. I am the host, singer, songwriter, actress, all those things. And that did PJ just get up
We just
and
lost
leave
PJ.
that
I'm
go?
sorry.
Ooh-wee.
See, you messed up my intro, man. Singer,
Stay
songwriter,
focused. Stay focused. Stay
actress,
focused. Come on.
all the things. And hey, Jeremy. He's somebody
Jeremy.
that's going to be a guest on the show later in the month. I think we got him scheduled for October. What's up, Jeremy? It's good to
Hey,
be in the
Jeremy.
place. Yes. Share the live and tag some folks and bring them on in here. Thank you so much. I forgot. I done messed up my whole introduction. So we just gonna go ahead and we're gonna skip our special guest and we're going to take it into PJ, who is doing what is
Debo Stomach.
that's my
Hey.
brother.
Hey. Look,
Come
I
on,
got a new
PJ.
All right,
pair.
Jordy.
I had the new pair of shades, so I had to go ahead and rock them. You already know how I'm going. But it's your boy PJ, aka J Fields. Don't ever forget it. Yes, Lord, we here for a good time, not a long time.
Yo,
Hey, what's good, Chris?
Chris,
What's up, my
crazy
brother?
sex. What's
What's up?
up?
Hey.
Yes,
Come
Lord.
on,
Music friends, music friends.
right? Go
Yes,
ahead,
Lord.
PJ. I'm
So
sorry.
no, you good. Everybody know what I do,
I'm
and
messing up everybody's intro.
yeah, I know everything that I do already, and yeah, we're gonna pass it down to She Flows.
Hey, what's up, everybody? PJ up here looking like he about to beam me up somewhere. I'm
Hey,
on
I'm
next
going to
level.
steal those shades. I'm plotting
Next
already.
level.
Right.
I
shout out
am
to
She
Pit Viper.
Flows, Rashawn, rapper, singer. I said that because Shakar be saying that. I
You
don't
said
sing.
singer. Come on, claim them gifts.
I don't know what I was
Claim them
talking about.
gifts.
Something happened. Hip
Glory.
hop artist, mostly artist, as in any type of creative art thing, photography. I do draw, but anyway. What else? Oh, I am a full time biker at the moment. Praise God for that blessing. My car is in the
Hey,
shop, but at least I've still got wheels. Praise God for
Facts.
that. Also, a fitness enthusiast, and I'm gonna go ahead and
Tough.
pass it on over.
Hey, y'all. My name is Kyla Simone. I'm singer, songwriter, guitarist, and all around creative. Always happy to be here with the fam.
yes,
Happy
Whoop,
Lord.
whoop.
Friday.
It's
Hey.
good to see the people coming in. See some eye candy models that just came up in here.
Yeah, see
Make
my
sure
brother
y'all
here. What's poppin'?
tag your peoples. Tell them we in here. We in here. Let
Mm-hmm.
them know. And we are going to let our special guest introduce himself. Sir, take it away.
Yo, what's going on? Appreciate y'all for having me on here. My name is James. James Hooper officially, but we're not gonna go by that. You feel me? Been making music for about 10 years now. I'm a rapper. Started when I was 15. So I'm 25, 26 now from Jersey.
Just
Um, also have a podcast called Brick Talk Podcast. Also have a production company called Good Produce. And yeah, that's all I got.
With the good mic. Yes, sir.
Yes, Lord.
right? All
Yeah.
There it is.
professional and
Yes.
everything. He
Appreciate
Yeesh.
it.
does this for real. All
Awesome.
right. As we always start, let us know how your week was. How was your week and what you got going on for the weekend? Everybody that's watching, also audience members, I want to know how was your week? What you got going on for the weekend? Let us know in the comments. PJ, starting with you, Love Bug. What's going on?
Yeah, you can call me AKA Cyclops now because I'm feeling
Oh,
these.
you and these AKAs.
Officially an X-Man. But
Sheesh.
I mean, these this past week has been very eventful. I'll say that. Chilling out with my Ego family. Shout out to Ego, the new group on the block. If y'all don't know, y'all gonna get to know. We have a gig. Deja Groove, another group I'm a part of. We got a gig tomorrow, so I've been hanging out with them this week. My birthday's in a couple of weeks, y'all. I'm about to be dirty 30. Like,
Oh
yeesh.
my goodness.
Oh man, I'm getting old. I can feel the WD-40 on my kneecap.
Oh no!
Watch
So,
yourself.
Don't do that. Don't do
Watch
that.
PJ,
yourself.
don't get upset, PJ. But I thought you was already 30.
I know. Same here,
what?
I did.
I did.
I knew
I
you
just
weren't
put that
30,
to the
PJ.
maturity. I
Car's the
just
worst though, because
I just-
she knows in
I
depth.
know, because that's my brother, right?
That's what I'm saying. Good
All
Lord.
this
It's
time,
okay,
I was like, PJ, like in his young 30s. That's what I was telling folks. In his
in
young
the
30s.
young 30s.
Like
man.
30,
In it.
31, young 30s. My bad.
It's shades like these that keep me a little bit, on the younger side. So 30's the new 20, baby. Yes, Lord.
Great. Good to hear.
She flows, what you got going on?
Oh my goodness. So this weekend it got me busy. I will be doing running sound at my church this week. That's tomorrow. I got a birthday party celebrating with some friends on Sunday. Hopefully I'll be able to fit a trip in. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see about that. And tonight I'm hanging with y'all. So my week it's been
Hey.
challenging. As I said, my car's in the shop. They quoted me over $5,000 to fix it.
Oh no.
I know, Yak.
Right.
But the crazy part is it's drivable. It's
Right.
just on the brink of epic fail, right? So it's like either get it done or get a new car, which I'm not gonna do because I own this bad boy.
Come
I
on
just
now.
paid this joker off,
Mm-hmm.
and the plan is I'm gonna, fix it and I'm gonna
Ride it
sell
till the
it
wheels fall
myself, right? When I'm ready,
There you go.
get more money than the dealership would give me,
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
and of course I'll be saving money while I'm taking that car payment and putting it aside. So there's a plan. I
There's
might
a
sound
plan.
crazy. It's a 2015 for those that are wondering.
Mm-mm.
I ain't finna pay all that money. I got a plan. We'll see what happens, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that L and get my car back. Until
Yes,
then,
Lord.
yeah, pray my strength and
Awesome.
safety on these highways and byways.
Awesome. Before we get to Kyla, just want to reiterate that we are not talking about what we are doing, how our week was, and what we're doing for the weekend. That goes for y'all that are watching. I want to see in the comment section, how was your week? What are you doing for the weekend? Chris already
What y'all
chimed in. He
doing?
said he got a
Hey.
gig tomorrow, and so he having good times.
Oh
Jessie
no.
said that she's
I'm sorry.
she's been sick with a virus for a week. Had all her shoots were canceled for the weekend. Her plan is to be in bed all weekend. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
feel
you need
better.
some rest,
Jessie,
mama.
we
Feel
are
better.
praying for you to get
Yeah, get some
well
rest.
very
Definitely.
quickly. Oh my goodness. All right, Kyla, my bestie, what you got going on?
Besides video chatting with my bestie all week with our shenanigans. It's been a blessed week. Just kicking out a lot of design, doing some rehearsing, writing some music, doing some recording, working on some demos and things. Just trying to continue to cultivate my gifts. And it's been a good week. And next weekend I'm about to celebrate a birthday. So
Hey,
getting ready for
Libra
my
gang, shout it.
hey. So getting ready for that celebration. So my besties are coming down to party with the girl. So
Hey.
We gonna act up.
much.
Let's see. So yeah, my week was pretty busy. Like it's for my job, it's the end of the fiscal year for those who know about the financial time. It's the end of the fiscal year, so
Yeah.
everybody acting crazy, and my job
Bruh.
was like, we might have to work on Saturday, and I was like, the devil is a lie, because
Yeah.
never in my
Right.
20 plus years of government have I ever had to work on a Saturday, and we're not
Right.
doing that
Not-
today. I was so
It's
upset.
crazy.
I'm so glad that we got everything done. So
Maya
we're
and a
not
deceiver.
working. Listen, we're not working on Saturday, so I was happy about that. I was stressed though. But busy with work. Always doing NET do stuff, working on songs, still get ready to get in the studio for my next single in the next few weeks, which will be featuring one of my other singing friends, because y'all know we got them singing friends.
Yes, Lord.
And then this weekend, I am singing background on both Saturday and Sunday
Hey, stop.
behind Angelica. So I will be doing my jelly bean BGBs and just having a good time. And hopefully I'll get some kind of rest and relaxation this weekend. It don't look like it,
Good
but
luck.
maybe I'll get
Yeah.
a minute to breathe.
This is what you signed up for.
I
Facts.
Don't
know.
complain.
I'm not
Facts.
complaining, but I would just like to have just a little bit
Some
of fun
sleep.
time.
Mm.
Hey,
It's just
look.
a little bit. What's up,
What's up,
Makai?
Hey,
Makai?
Hey,
One of
hey.
hey.
our
Okay. Hey,
our
what's
loyal
up?
supporters. What's
You.
up? Make sure you tag your peoples and let them know to come on in, James. So, how was your week? What's going on this weekend?
My week was good, man. I think it started off really good with this past week, the weekend before this weekend. I went to the studio, started working on some new music to come out very, very soon. I'm super excited about it. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Working
Lord.
with some different producers. Actually working with JB on this one. So I'm really excited.
Hey,
Yeah, bro.
yes,
JB's the
sir.
Ah,
guy. Yeah, so I'm hype. I'm actually super hype about it. But work though, the adverse with the work, man, work has been because like you said, the fiscal year, bro, is coming up. So it's been crazy because we got like proposals and money and X, Y, and Z that's happening over there, but it's all good. But you know, when I get home, I try to focus on music and writing as much as I can.
mhm.
So that's been a good balance for me. Um, and then this weekend I have to go to Jersey tomorrow to shoot some stuff for Brick Talk, my podcast. And then I have to go to New York for a performance. And then I'm back down here on Sunday. So that's what my weekend looks like.
You
All right.
tearing the road up.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
All
Working.
I'm
right.
proud. I'm really proud of everybody just because like we're like holding down the 9 to 5 and then on top of that being artists and creatives like wearing a million hats and doing it well. So I'm super proud of all
Word.
of you guys.
Absolutely. If we have time, that is a topic that I want to bring up because I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
y'all some things that happen at my job. But right now, this first half is about our special guest, James. I know James through church.
Yeah, facts.
Church. We are
Right.
church acquaintances and
Hmm.
so we're going to start with you. We want you to. I'm stealing something. I stole this from uh, Aaron Victor. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
want nobody to be like, "Oh, you ain't take you took somebody's thing." So I stole it. So if anybody ever say anything, just let him know. I gave him his credit. I stole it from him. So
Mm-hmm.
I would like to hear about young James. Who is young
Oh my
James?
God.
How did he?
Oh God.
Who
Young
who was
James.
this kid? Who was young James?
Young James was Young James was awkward, but Young James was terrible. Oh my God. I don't want to relive it. I was a nerd, man. I didn't have many friends. Uh I had terrible social skills. I played basketball, but I was on the bench. Oh my goodness, I'm thinking about all of it right now. But I did, but Young James at the same time did love music. You know what I'm saying? So even though I had this awkward, I guess, life outside of my bedroom, inside of my bedroom, it was just writing and cultivating my craft. And I was very bad when I first started, but it got a lot better now. So, yeah, Young James was trying to figure it out, and I think he's doing pretty good now. So,
Yeah. So, um, young James, what did young James always know that he was going to do music? Was that
Young
his
James,
passion?
yeah, no, it was definitely was. Like I said, I started when I was 15 years old, and actually before I started rapping, I did poetry because my mom's a poet, so I got that skill set from her. And I did poetry, and I would do that, but then it turned into rapping when I got into Lil Wayne and Drake. So I would actually go to YouTube and listen to Lil Wayne and Drake songs, download the beat, and then like rewrite to their flows, but with my words. So that's like how I learned to start rapping.
Mm.
Um, and then
That's
it just
dope.
went from there. I was dropping music every week in high school. Again, it was very bad. But then when I got to college, I finally got pretty good at it, and I went from there. So
Yeah. I see that you do battle raps as well. Is that
Huh.
something
Yeah.
new,
Let me
Oh,
tell
or
you
or
something.
like how long you
wait.
been doing that?
Nah,
And how does that work being a Christian hip hop art? Like because
yes,
I see some battle raps and they be going
yeah.
in on folks. So how does that
Hey,
work?
nah, that's a great question. I love battle rap with a passion. Like even outside of doing it, like just I watch battle rap today. Like I watch it all the time. Like I literally love battle rap. But it's funny because I was watching it for a long time, and I think some of you guys may know G. He's like in the Fredericksburg area,
Mhm.
and he started a battle rap league about like 2-3 years ago, give or take. And he knew I was a good rapper, so he just asked me one day. He was like, "Bro, would you ever like want to do battle rap?" And it just never that was never something that clicked for me. Like I just always watched it, but I never thought I would do it for the reason you're talking about. Like I'm a Christian. How's that? How can I be aggressive and a Christian at the same time? But
Mhm.
I mean, it was a challenge, and I worked through it. In my first battle, like went crazy. It went crazy, and there's like this balance. There's a balance in there because there's actually there's like 4 or 5 popular Christian battle rappers now who do this professionally. So there is a balance in being aggressive and talking to your opponent in a way where it's like I'm better than you, but still being like, but all praise to God. You know what I'm saying? You gotta you
Oh
gotta
wow.
find it. You gotta find the balance in there, but
Mhm.
it is there for real. So yeah,
That's awesome.
hmm
Definitely send me a couple of clips of that so
I
we can
got
share
you
that with the NETD fam
for
so they can
sure.
see you do your thing. Um, how long have you been do, doing it professionally? Like, I know you've been doing it all your life, but when did you decide I'm actually going to be an artist? Like, this is what I actually want to do.
Man, I mean, the thing about music for me, for a long time, I would go so back and forth with it because it, you see the progression internally, but when you don't see the progression maybe in streams or in the amount of people that know your songs and things of that nature, it's mentally it can just be challenging. So I've had like an on and
Absolutely.
off relationship with music since I started it. But I will say that when I got to college, I made this song called, so it was about like 19ish, maybe 20. I made a song called Religion, and I performed it for this competition in school. And I remember the feeling I got from people saying my lyrics back to me and from performing. But then at the next day, even after that, I was walking around campus. Shout out to Makai too. He said that someone was playing my song earlier. But I was walking around campus and someone was singing those lyrics, and I was like, yo, this is it. Like this is the feeling that like motivates me almost, like the connection through music, the fact that I can say something and it resonates with somebody else and they understand my experience because they experienced it too. And I don't know, like music is just the medium that makes the most sense to me. And so I guess sometime when I was in college, around that time when I released that song, I realized, yo, what's good, my boy? I realized that this is just what I wanted to do. So it's still been a challenge though, if I'm being honest. Even past
Hmm.
that decision, it's still been the fight I've had with it. But yeah, that was the moment I remember being the pivot.
Awesome. And so your latest single,
Yes,
Recon. What
facts.
what
Hey.
I love about it is that, like, and I'm trying to say this not to sound disrespectful, but
Mm-hmm.
we do know that sometimes Christian hip hop, especially
Yes,
indie artists, the music can sound kind of
yes.
corny.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
look at She Flow's face.
they can.
Not you, She Flows. I love you. You know you my girl. You know we ain't talking
Oh
about you.
man.
But what I love and what I have seen when you perform this song, first of all, your energy when I watch your videos and when I watch you perform,
Thank
to
you.
me is like, and probably because I don't hang out around you as much, but to me it's like total opposite. Like I
Mm.
see you and you like quiet and you like kind of low key. But then when you perform and
Man,
your videos, I'm just like, who's this guy? Because like I don't see him when I see him when I see him
man,
face to face. Like to
yeah,
me, it's like totally different persons. But I love how they use the word crossover because you have the church folks is digging it, but also those outside of church. Like I
yeah,
see so many people singing your song, singing that hook, like loving it. It's a video of Tiffany doing your whole freaking song. And I thought that it was like so dope that you were able to just capture everyone with your music and not just the Christian audience. And I just think that is dope. Is that something that you set to do purposefully,
Yeah,
or
for
did it just kind of
sure.
just happen?
Yeah, no, that's I love this question. I think first to just the first music is like that's my element. Like even performing, like when I get into that space, like I'm just there. So that's why when I talked about earlier when I was growing up, I had like these boots are low key, they're high key. Fact.
Come on
For
here.
those
I
who
talked
don't
about.
know, they are quoting stuff from the video right now. So that lets you know that he has some awesome supporters because they are like quoting
Thank
stuff
you
from the
guys.
video.
It means the world, man. But yeah. So what was I saying? What I say? I was talking
You
about
were talking about whether or not you chose to do this
Oh
purposefully,
yeah,
as far
yeah.
as being able
Right.
to reach
Thank
both.
you. Sometimes my mind be doing all this, but
It's I know.
my
Me too.
yeah, like when I grew up, when I was growing up, I really did have that, I guess, that shy personality, and sometimes I still do have it. Sometimes I still do like struggle with like being outspoken, but when I'm doing music, I have like the most confidence because I sat with it for so long and I know it knows me, so I can just go out there and just do it. And when it comes to even writing my music or putting these songs together, I'm not writing it to be I am Christian, which is why which is why I identify as a Christian rapper. But I'm not like, oh God, 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 God. That's not how I write.
Hmm.
I write from a real perspective, a true perspective. Like this is the life I live, and I struggle with this, and I dealt with that. And you can go on Apple Music right now and hear some songs where I was talking about stuff that has nothing to do with God because it's a journey. You feel what I'm saying? So
Right.
all the things that I go through are honest, and I make sure that that's in my music. And I think if you're real as a person, then people relate to that in general. You know what I'm saying? So I think before this iteration of my music, before I got to this point, I was trying to do something. Like I was trying to be like either a Christian rapper, I was trying to be secular, I was trying to, but now I'm just being me. And that comes out in the music, and people are like, yo, I love this because it's real. So
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Before I ask another question or see if the crew has any questions, audience members, if you have a question for our special guest, James, please put them in the comments and we will post it and we will let him have a crack at your questions. All right. Anybody from the crew got any questions before I go to my other ones? Because I got a bunch of them, but I'm gonna let
Let
y'all talk.
ladies first.
What's been one of your, I guess, most life-changing experiences in being an artist so far?
Yeah,
Good question.
that's a good question. How do I say this without being emotional? I think I can recall two, but there was there was a moment um for what well I pulled from, this is before I made the decision to really be into music, but my father passed away when I was younger. And that the pain of that experience, I pull from a lot of my music. I remember one time I was actually on a Bible study, and PJ and I were talking, and he said, your pain is your platform. And that clicked. As soon as he said it, it clicked. I was like, bro, exactly. Like that's exactly what it is. So there's a lot of what I've grown up with and what I dealt with just because of that. My father not being in my life completely and then passing away, that I pull from a lot. But then in my more recent life, there was actually a girl who I thought I was gonna marry. Some people might have actually um that would go to the church might have met her, and that relationship didn't work out. But I was banking on it. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I was like, nah, this is the one. Like, and it was almost trying to put a, what is it, like a circle peg into like a square hole or something like that, or whatever
Hmm.
that phrase
Hmm.
is. And when it didn't work, a lot of what I there it was almost like that was one of those things I was believing God for, the same way music is something I'm believing God for. So it's like those things were almost tied. So when that didn't
Mm,
work out, it was like, is this gonna work out? You know what I'm saying? So
mm,
I was I was broken, you know, in a lot of ways through this process of just making music. But it's almost like you try to step away, but like I was saying earlier, this is this is the thing that gives me my outlet. Like, not like whether it's writing or performing it or going to the studio and trying to get it right, like all of this is a part of what I need. You know what I'm saying, just to get past those tough moments. So yeah, I think that those two things are what I think of when you ask that question, being pivotal for me.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Who would you like to work with? Are there
Hey
Hey,
any
hey,
man,
artists?
hey.
I want to look. This is big, God. But look, I want to work with Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Yay.
Come
Bro,
Do
on.
it. Do
I
it.
whether he needs someone to write, whether he wants to feature, I don't, bro. I need to work with Drake, bro. Like Drake, like I said earlier, Drake and Lil Wayne, Jay-Z too, but Drake and Lil Wayne are like, excuse me, the guys that I studied to learn how to rap, just to learn flows and bars and stuff like that. So working with both of them, especially Drake, is like major. I need that for sure.
oh, yeah, okay now.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I
come on.
love how your supporters right now are like quoting lines from your song, and I just that's like super dope.
Yes,
Like
love.
that's really dope to see right now. PJ with
Appreciate you
your
guys.
shades, honey. You got you got questions.
Yeah, so all right, so here's proof that I'm the number one JAiMS fan, right? So
Oh, you
everybody
gonna get it? Cause I know a whole lot of people claiming
look,
that.
everybody knows, all this work in the field, running back like Dion. Everybody know that, right?
Right.
But nobody knows about the I see demons, they might get me. I see angels, they protect me. Come on. I'm the number one JAiMS James fan. That is from his battle rap verse that he has footage of. So y'all
Hey.
check that. I got
Oh,
receipts.
bet.
I'm the number
Appreciate you,
one
bro.
fan. But
Yes,
anyways,
sir.
He said, "I got
so
receipts." Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Hey, look. But so my question would be, because as a creative myself and one who does live performances more than studio work, something that's impactful to me outside of just people saying words to the songs they know is ultimately just the pulse of the crowd. I always say I live for the pulse of the crowd, whether that's the clapping, whether
Yeah.
that's, foot stomping, whatever that
Hmm.
may be. And I attribute that to the impact that I want to have over people when my voice hits the airwaves.
Hmm.
What is the thing? So I know Kyla asked, what are the most impactful things that have happened? What is the most impactful thing that you're wanting to accomplish when it
Mm.
comes to music?
That's a good question. You know, I think big performances are always a thing. Of course, you want awards secretly, but I think that's a good question, man. I haven't really thought about this. I think I don't know if this really answers the question, but I make, like I said before, some of the music I've made, I'm almost like afraid to show my mom. You know what I'm saying? Because you say real stuff, and your mom is like the person that's like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And I think I think having a moment where I like share my music with like my family and they get it, like I think it's
Mm,
almost like I'm nervous to do that. I share my music with like everybody, but I never send it to my family, like ever, and it's almost like,
wow.
yeah, man. I mean, that's because, bro, it's deep, man, because my family, you know, I'm thinking about this now. I took this path of like, okay, God, all the way over here, and then back to God, and like I said, like I talk about it. So I remember one time my uncle or somebody was like, heard your last song, man. You was talking about, this and that. I was like, hey man, look, you know what I'm saying? I kind of just brushed past the conversation. But I think that one of the accomplishments I want to have is just like really sharing a moment with my music with my family. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's like real for me. But I also want to perform on like the biggest stages. So Summerfest, hit me up. You feel Summer
Yes,
Jam, you
Lord.
know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro.
We have a question in the audience. Hey, Dr. A. Thank you, Diane. You're so sweet. We have a question from Cedric. He said, how did you come up with the concept for your video? did you come up with the song first,
Hmm.
or did you already have a concept on how you wanted to present your video?
That's a great question. The video was an extension of the concept for the song. So Recon came about because of like COVID. Like I was really just sitting in the crib, so that's why I started off the song saying like Dola moves, I be on, Pete the vibes like Recon, and I was just to myself for a long time, and in the midst of being to myself, like what that song was about, I ended up learning the different versions of JAiMS, like the JAiMS that is, Christian and believes in God, but also the JAiMS that, is into production. That I found that out in the midst of COVID. The JAiMS that wants to start a podcast and has things he wants to talk about. The JAiMS that does this and the JAiMS that does that. And I found out all these different versions of JAiMS. That's why in the video you see me replicate myself like throughout the house and then in the field where there's like multiple versions. And so the video became an extension of what the song was about, which is like really being to myself, that solitude and what I learned during that time. But even beyond that, I work with an amazing team. So shout out to Heath Ledger, who was a director, Demetrius Beckham, the director for the video. And also shout out to my man's Jordan, who was the videographer. So Jordan McNair. So yeah, man, we came together actually and came up with that concept together from, again, the original song idea, which then extended to the video. So yeah, for sure.
It is dope. It's a very dope video.
Thank
Like I
you.
said, it kind of like we get to see different sides of you that we wouldn't normally see.
Yeah, yeah, for
So if you
sure.
haven't seen it, please check out the video. It is on YouTube, but I
That's
think
so
you can.
crazy. Cause I feel like that's how I feel like I'm so outgoing. I had this great personality, you know what I'm saying? That I just want to put on display. And you're telling me that I'm not. I just don't believe it. I can't believe it.
I only see it when you perform
Yeah.
and in your videos. Like I'll see videos, I was like, where is this personality? Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Let's switch gears right quick. Let's talk about Brick Talk.
Mm,
That
Yes,
is a
Lord.
podcast that I
yeah.
enjoy listening to because y'all be talking about some stuff. I'm like, oh, wait a
Mhm.
minute.
Yeah,
So
that's a fact.
tell everybody about your podcast, Brick Talk.
Yeah, man. Thank you. So, podcast Brick Talk is a podcast that originated again during COVID. My co-host Jahava Floyd, who's an overseas basketball player, professional basketball player, he was getting ready to get married. And he called me and was like, bro, like I need to get more into my word. Like I need your help to stand the third. So we were just actually, it started off just being us reading scriptures and talking about them over FaceTime. But then we were having, like every podcast starts, we were having such great conversation. He was like, bro, we need to start a podcast. So then we started going on Instagram live with it. And then after that, it became like a real thing. Really, Jahiva drove the whole inception. Like I didn't want to do it. Like I was like, bro, I got too much going on. Like I'm not really trying. He was like, nah, bro, let's do it. Like we're having great conversations. And now it's like it's been one of the most important things in my life. Like it's helped me to become way more vulnerable, to do stuff like this and be honest. Also through my music, it's helped me to just be able to talk out my problems, talk about relationships. Yeah, it's been great. So I think, Brick Talk Podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at Brick Talk Pod. We're also on YouTube. We actually just started a partnership with the Off Season. The Off
Yeah.
Season is a network that is based in New Jersey, with some friends that we grew up with. So it's, the leaders of the organization are Miles Hartsfield, who's a professional football player for the Carolina Panthers, and then Mike Carey, who's a football coach in New Jersey. And they just wanted to start this platform for podcasts that have good concepts and bring us all together under one roof called the Off Season. So that's what that partnership is, and that's what Brick Talk is about.
That's
Oh,
dope. And tell everybody when they can watch it, what time, all
Okay.
that good stuff.
Perfect. So we're still actually trying to work out the schedule since we started a new partnership, but we should be dropping on Mondays uh on a consistent basis. That timeline is still being worked out, but we're going to be dropping on Mondays on a consistent basis. Um and you can find us on YouTube at the Off Season Network, under that YouTube channel. And then you can also find us on Instagram at Brick Talk Pod, where we post all our episodes in our link, and also we post all our episodes reels on the page. So
word.
Awesome. Make
for
sure you
sure.
guys check it out.
Thank
Um, y'all have good content, a lot of good questions,
you.
good
Yeah,
conversations. I've been in some of them conversations.
nah,
Good
facts.
conversations.
Thank you.
Also, tell everybody about Good Produce.
Yeah, so Good Produce was actually the first business I started, and I don't post about it as much as I should because I do it more than people know about. But it's basically a production company. So the root of it was I started doing production for my church actually. Again during COVID, COVID started a lot of stuff for me. But during COVID, I started doing production for my church, and I found a love in it. Of course, that environment was difficult to work in because of just all the moving parts. But even in the midst of all that, I was like, yo, I love production. Production is involved in everything. We're doing production
Hmm.
right now. Like it's like whenever you walk into a building that's having an event, there's some production going on somewhere, and we're always doing that stuff, right? So I didn't realize how in the weeds or how involved production is in like a daily life or like a daily event or whatever. And I was like, bro, I'm always doing some sort of production. Why not monetize it? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, so that's really what Good Produce was. I was like, why not? If I'm doing it all the time, why don't I just make money from it? And I also additionally had some really dope friends with some really dope stories. The first thing that I did for Good Produce that I did for Good Produce that wasn't just like normal production was I went to California and shot this piece on my friend who went to LA and just started pursuing directing, and she's been doing really well. And I was like, you have a great story. Let me tell that. And yeah, man. So Good Produce is a combination of the dope friends that I have and the networks that I want to develop in time, as well as just the production that goes on every day. So
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, that's dope.
thank you.
For those who are just now tuning in, I see we had some new folks coming in. I saw Ebony just come in. That's another eye candy model.
Thanks.
If you guys have questions for our special guest James, make sure you drop it in the comments and we will share it. And
Appreciate
speaking of
y'all.
eye candy, when did you become a model, sir?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
So I look. Am I a model? I don't know. Like, It's funny because PJ again, man. It's the guy, man. I was walking around church, and PJ was like, "Hey, man, like there's this fashion thing going on. You have a dope style. You should like just try out for it." And then they picked me. Like I just came out because PJ asked. You know what I'm saying? And the funny part about it is, I mean, I guess I am a model. It is still hard for me to identify as that, but
Ebony said, yes, you are a model.
Ebony's the greatest, man. But that opportunity actually turned into one of my bigger performances since being in Fredericksburg. Like I performed in front of I think it was like 400 something people because of that
Absolutely.
opportunity. So it's just like yes, I don't rule out anything at this point. It's like, bro, just if someone pulls up and is like, yo, well, you want to do this? I'm probably gonna say less unless I'm unavailable because you never know what something can blossom into. So
Dr. A say,
Okay.
James, cute or whatever.
Cute about that.
He cute or whatever.
I appreciate it.
Awesome. Do we have any more questions from the crew? Questions from the audience? Make sure you guys post it in the comments.
How
Any
do we
more
get the
questions?
podcast? Is that on a platform or is it just like
Yeah,
what
so yeah,
Instagram
so
Live or how do I?
right. So it's primarily on YouTube, but it is also streaming on Spotify podcast and
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts as well. If you search the Off Season Network, you should be able to find everything under there in the midst of the other things that are going on. What are you not doing? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Diane's great. Diane Elder actually has been super helpful in my process because she helps with a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Like I went to her when I was developing my business plan and
Mhm.
just for conversations, like people just have wisdom, so me and her
Yeah.
just kind of sit and talk about a lot of things, so she's great as well. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome. Do. So, um, I'm trying to decide whether or not we're even going to go into the topics because I'm really enjoying just talking to James and getting to know more about him. Um, and we do also have new music and all that good stuff that we normally
Facts.
do. And she said, "Oh, my baby."
Ah,
She's the greatest.
But so, like she said, you do a lot.
Yeah.
You have a lot. How do you find that balance? How do you make sure that you have some me time? How do you
Bro.
like juggle all of that?
You know, I still I was dealing with this like last night earlier today. I was like, bro, like, does sleep exist? I mean, it does, but like, does it really? I think that when
No,
you it
I
doesn't,
ain't
right?
found
Like,
it.
I don't think it
Right.
exists. It's not real, man. I mean, of
See.
course it is, but like rest, I'm to be real, I'm learning how to rest in God. Like, but I'm being real, like in the midst of everything, because oh my gosh. Like, oh my goodness. But it's the I'm learning how to rest in God because I don't really find rest anytime else. Like it's yeah, you need sleep, yeah, technically, but it's just like when you want
Technically,
no, like when you want to do this, that, and the third, like you can't force
yeah.
anything, right? Like you have to allow things to happen naturally. So it's not about forcing it, but if I want to do, for example, this weekend, I need to go to New Jersey to one see my friends that I haven't seen in a long time, my brothers. But then beyond that, I have to shoot some stuff for Brick Talk, and I have to perform in New York. That's all in the same day. Like, and these are all
Wow.
things that matter. So you're telling me to sleep and miss this? Like, no, I'm not missing it. Like, these things are important, and I have to get them done. So, do I sacrifice maybe the additional 2, 3, 4 hours to like really sleep? Like, yeah, sure. But I think that's what I'm saying. Like, it's an ongoing thing where if you can find how to like give it to God, then the weight is easier to bear, right? So I'm not walking around carrying all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not walking around carrying, okay, I got to do this, but I'm present in all these moments like, okay, God, like you want me here, like I need you to, you know what I'm saying? Give me some energy or something. I need something to kind of happen here to make this happen. And he comes through every time. So I'm not finna like I got you. I got you with the autograph. But I'm not finna stop. And I actually used to be like, oh, I'm tired, I need to stop. But I think
Mhm.
that's like not it. Like when I did that, I was finding myself like, dang, like I really miss doing
You
whatever
don't
thing I
rest
stopped
anyway.
doing.
Like
Yeah,
your brain
Yeah,
is still moving, so you might as well do instead of trying to
e-
there
rest.
you
I
go.
I
exactly.
totally have been there. I get that.
Yeah, it's like I might as well go do something because it really, when I take those rest breaks or whatever they're called, I end up sitting around the house watching Netflix, spending money on DoorDash. Like, bro, we're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, no, if I'm gonna spend this money, it's gonna be on this. If I'm gonna be doing anything with my time, it's not gonna be watching whatever show on Netflix, but it's gonna be towards something like, and there's a balance in that. Don't get me wrong. Like, there can be uh uh those days where you're like, okay, I probably did too much today, you know. But even those days, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Resting in God, right? And that's what it's because Dr. A said there's a difference between uh rest and being lazy. And I think it's just basically like what She Flows was saying, just be intentional, right?
You
Just
can
be
bust that.
intentional about the breaks you take. Say it again.
I said you can bust that. I just want you to
Yeah,
know they're
yeah.
not they're not on your
Lord will
side here.
sit
They
you
They're
they
not
down.
they're not
Oh
on my
my
side.
goodness.
That's fine. That's
Oh.
fine with me. I'm okay with it. Like, yeah, I know, bro. I'm not saying, all right, let me clear it up. I'm not saying like go 24/7, right? I'm not saying go
right.
24/7, but what I am saying is go for it, right? And go for it while also being intentional, because rest is a part of it. So let me be clear. You do need your days where you're not just like moving around. You do need those days for sure, but don't get so caught up in I need sleep that you miss it. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So, but Dr. A is right. Make sure you rest. Yeah, PJ, go ahead, bro.
So like just to bounce off of that, because I'm an
Mhm.
insomniac, so I
Mm.
barely get sleep as it is, and if I do get sleep, it's
I do
melatonin
too.
induced. So it's and I won't even go on how deep how bad it is, but
Melatonin
just
and what?
it's melatonin
Drugs.
induced.
Fam.
Melatonin
Basically,
No, I'm
yes.
joking.
induced pills.
Basically. I do the liquid version, but because it works faster. But yeah, but there's a difference between sleep and rest. Like
Hmm.
I get
Mm-hmm.
plenty of sleep because it's induced. Like I have to get sleep just to be able to give my body something to energize itself for. But have I had true rest in a very long time? No.
Mm.
I
Mm-mm.
have not rested in a very long time. So I understand what he's saying, but even when you
Mhm.
do get those chance to rest, resting in God, I also can equate it to having productive rest. So
Right.
if it's not, doing something that is gonna cause immediate impact into what you're doing, it'll
Mhm.
cause some type of regeneration, rejuvenation, some type of productivity to the goal that you're trying to set, not only for music, but for other things that you're a part of. So
Mhm.
sleep and rest are two different things, but
Right.
if you're not actually resting, make it productive rest.
Mhm.
Can I interject?
Mhm.
What do you do in regards to like your mental health, right? Like making
Yes.
sure, especially because we're in a culture that it's very hard on people, on creatives,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
How do you preserve and protect and guard your mental health?
Yeah, no, I love that. I started therapy 3 weeks ago. So
Hey,
I had my first therapy session. Yeah, man, major. It's it's already helping. You know what I'm saying? Like she was the reason I started therapy was because I was realizing I was like, okay, this is all uh if I don't address this, it's not gonna get fixed, kind of thing. Like, like with a car almost. And this is gonna start damaging other stuff if I keep rolling around with this one issue. And probably before before I started uh going to therapy, I wanna say mentally, I was hitting some sort of like rock bottom. You know what I mean? And rock bottom isn't necessarily like your lowest point, right? Rock bottom is like I saw this. I'm not. I didn't. I don't. I want to make sure I give the reference because I heard this on Instagram, but they were saying I forgot the podcast already, but the podcast was saying rock bottom isn't your lowest point, but it's where the change happens. Wherever you decide to hit the turning point, that's rock bottom. And I was just seeing myself going down a slippery slope of like being with like back to back women, like you know what I'm saying, and like not really like spending time to myself because that's a thing that some men go through where it's like you sometimes you want a woman to like fix you. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to find the partner that kind of makes up for the points you don't have. And I was doing that. Some kind like I didn't know I was doing it, but I was, right? And then even beyond that, just like, addressing not properly addressing things from my childhood that may have resulted in like people pleasing and so on and so forth. So I was just realizing that I was having issues that were coming out of my relationships. And I just took I was progressive about going to see a therapist. And there was a time like probably a year ago now where I was taking those self-care days, but I stopped doing it, right? Like again, it's about being intentional about that rest. For whatever reason, I think life just got busy or whatever, and I just stopped doing it. Or I think I got into a relationship and I stopped doing it. But now even that's important again. So the combination of therapy and those days where I like Dr. A was saying where I rest into like in what PJ was saying where I rest intentionally and I don't run around, those have been super helpful to get me back on track with my mental health and being okay, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Jesus in therapy. Jesus in
Facts. Perfect
Straight
combination.
up,
The greatest combination right there.
man.
Absolutely. You have merch.
Facts. I'm wearing
You
it.
have merch. You wear we can't see it, man.
There's more on the back. There's more on the back. Yeah.
Tell
But
folks about your merch, where we can get it, all that
mhm.
good stuff. Come on, come on.
Yeah, so this merch line I'm actually taking down in a second because I'm getting ready to launch some new stuff. But
Okay.
to speak to what this line was, and it's still gonna be available for like a couple more days. But uh so there's an eye on the front. I'm not gonna turn around, but there's doves on the back, 3 doves. And what it means, like you can see my name spelled J capital J, capital A, lowercase I, capital M, capital S. And the reason it's spelled like that, the I is lowercase because it's not about I, it's not about me. It's about God, it's about my community, it's about my family, it's about everything that goes on from there. And I embody that in my music, and I try to embody it also in this merchandise. And then on the back, like I said, there are 3 doves, and that just represents again God, like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, right? So that was the purpose of this merch, to kind of just be my first iteration of like, hey, like I have clothes that you can wear if you want to support me. And the next iteration will be a step further in just branding, right? Because that what this merch helped me do more than anything was start branding. I think that you know what you do, and you think people know what you do, but sometimes they don't know what you do, right? So it's like putting out merch and posting on social media and just being outside are just ways to just make sure every other people are like, oh, like that's James and he does X, Y, and Z. So I think merchandise is just a part of my branding. Yeah.
Nice.
And are you a part of the design process and all of that? Are you working with others, or is this all you?
So this was all me. That's why it's so simple, because I was like, I just want to put something out. But the next iteration, when I get into the logo space and things of that nature, that I'm working with somebody else on. I think collaboration is important because you don't know everything. You have some answers, but you don't have all the answers. So I'm collaborating with somebody who already sent me back some dope stuff as drafts, but we gotta touch up and finalize. So I'm excited for it. But the designing going forward, I'll probably work with other people.
And is it just going to be clothing? Is there other?
Good question. You know what I'm saying? So it's you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be clothing, but I want to get into some other products, right? So I mean, I'm nervous to say because I don't know what'll come forth, but
You don't got to tell us everything.
yeah,
Keep
for
it to
sure.
yourself. Keep it to
Appreciate it.
yourself.
I was getting ready to say it, but yeah. But yeah, there's some other items that can also be used as well. So not just clothes, but other stuff as well. Yeah.
Awesome. So what's next? When's the next single? When's the next music video? What's next?
Great. See, I love it here. Y'all need to come on this show, man.
Come back anytime.
Yeah, man. They ask the greatest questions. So I posted on my Instagram for those who saw. I actually wanted this to be the first place where I made a major announcement. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Got the secret scoop, but
World premiere.
Yes, sir.
Exclusive tea.
I will be. I am currently working on an album, and it'll be dropping early next year.
Yeah.
For sure. This is my first time saying it in this type of forum, so the album is on the way officially. That's what that last recording session was this last weekend, and we're on the way. We're on the way.
Very good.
Yes.
Sure.
And the audience is going crazy. They are excited.
Love.
Awesome sauce. That is dope. Okay. What can we expect to hear on this album?
Man, a lot of what I've been learning, a lot of what I've been talking about on this podcast or on this show, actually, to be honest, and just a lot of honesty, man. Like I go there, but it's not me trying. I think in my past albums, well, in my most recent album, I'll say, I think I was trying to do something, like I was like, I want this music to do this, but this time I'm kind of just letting it happen. And this has been, I think every artist says this every time they make new music, but this has been the best music I've made because it's just happened. Like it's just happening. Like I'm meeting, I met JB again through the fashion show, and then he was like, "Oh, bro, pull up for this session." And then he just sent me beats, and I was like, "Bro, these are fire." And then I rapped on them. It's like everything just happened naturally. So, I think the combination of what I've done through, or what I've learned since my last album with like Brick Talk and like vulnerability and the way I've gotten better at making music and rapping and actually learning how to sing better through Val. Shout out to Val and Zion, to be honest, like learning how to sing better, like all of those things have played into what this new album. I haven't dropped an album in like 2 years. So
wow.
Yeah, this one's gonna be special, important, So I'm very excited for it. So yeah.
Absolutely. So you mentioned JB as one of the producers. Are there going to be any other folks that you're working with? Any collaborations? Like some names that we may know. So you don't have to like little hint.
No, actually, I can tell you everything because the features are no secret. Um, there's only 2 features. There will be there's there's gonna be a good amount of songs, but there's gonna be only 2 features, and the reason is because this album is very personal. And
Hmm.
I thought about adding actually some other features, but I didn't want to sacrifice um how personal and real it was for like streams, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, like this one I gotta carry it, primarily just because it has to come from that real place. So there are only 2 features, and they are Zay Blaze, an artist that I've met in Hampton and been working with him since we met, and also the director of my music video, Demetrius Beckham, who goes by musically Heat Ledger. He actually dropped a song not too long ago called Ipora, which is like a dance record. So you guys can search it. It's Epura. So look that up by Heat Ledger as well. And Zay also has a lot of music out. Search Zay Blaze everywhere. He has a lot of music out. But yeah, so those are the features. The producers are myself. I produced the majority of the project.
Hmm.
JB produces 3 songs on there, and then another producer that I also met in Hampton University, the school I went to. He his name is D Phenom, and he produced 1 track on there. And and Zay and I co-produced 2 songs. Zay Blaze and I. So that's and then the rest of it I produced myself. And yeah, I think that's everything. That's all the features, that's all the production. And yeah, that's it. That's it.
Wow, James, man, you are a busy guy.
Yeah,
You
man.
are a busy guy. I'm so
Mhm.
grateful for you being on the show. If you guys
Thank
have
you.
been enjoying James, put some hand claps in the chat.
Thank you
Let him
guys.
know. Give him some love. Let him know that you have enjoyed this interview. I don't want to not do your segment, PJ. With the time is winding down, but I really wanted to dig into getting to know James. Like I feel like even though we went to the same church, that I still learned a whole lot about you today, and that's really
Yeah.
dope.
It's funny because I'm like really I think I'm an open book. I don't know, man. I think a lot of times if I go into a place, I love you too, Dr. A. If I go into a place to get a job done, then like that's what I'm doing. And it's definitely sometimes hard to be completely yourself when politics are involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
when all that plays into a factor, sometimes I am like a little more closed up and defensive. I don't mean to be. It's just almost just because my mind is always thinking. It just happens. But I am trying to be more present and more open because I'm really I'm like, yo, what's up? You feel me? But I think that sometimes I give off a different um feeling because of maybe what's going on in my mind. But yeah.
That's respectable.
Yeah.
When English? When is the next time you're you're performing? Where can we see you jumping on the stage and giving all that energy that you always give it? When's
Mm-hmm.
the next time? Give us some dates so folks can come out and
Right.
support and see you.
So October 1st, I will be performing for the For the People fashion show. Shout out to Amber. She's doing that. And then also actually tomorrow I'll be performing in New York. That's last minute, so I know how it goes. But tomorrow I'll be performing in New York and for a fundraiser actually. And I've the battle rap that I do is actually on October 8th. I think that's PJ's birthday, right? October 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right
Oh,
after
okay.
that, I'm shooting over to the party. You feel what I'm saying? But I got the battle rap on October 8th, and then I'm planning another performance. That's something I have in the works where I want to do something a little bit bigger that I do myself, but I don't have a date for that yet. So this is actually all a part of Tour Recon, what I posted a little while ago. And yeah, so we're rolling, we're working, and I will post more on social media because if I don't post, y'all won't know. But I will be posting more so that y'all are
Oops, didn't
aware.
mean to do that. And that is
Facts.
the song for those who don't have it.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
pretty sure everybody on here do, but if you don't, you make sure you go on all digital platforms, right? It's on all digital
Yep.
platforms,
On
right?
everything. Yep. Yep.
And
So
download. Don't just stream, y'all. Just
Facts. Facts.
download it. It's a hot
Appreciate it.
song. Download it.
Love, love.
Thank you so much.
No,
It
thank
has
you.
been a joy having you on the show. I really, really appreciate it. Really
Mm.
learned a lot. Make sure you guys tell everybody where they can like follow you
Mm-hmm.
and support you, all of that.
Yep. So at Free James everywhere. So FreeJaims. What? FreeJaims. What? FreeJaims. You can follow me everywhere. Like literally everywhere by that name. And then TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. And then also if you want to support my podcast, that's Brick Talk Pod, Brick Talk Pod. And then also if you want to follow my production page, book me for some work, it's GOODPRODCO, Good Prod Co, Good Produce. And I think that's everything. Oh, and YouTube, search JAiMS Recon official music video to stream to watch that as well. And that's it.
Awesome. Let's run those numbers up for them
Facts.
views. Run
Yeah.
them views
And shout out
up.
to From a Distance. I was watching that earlier today. That joint was fire.
Thank you. Thank you.
Super fire.
Thank you so much. Man, it has been an awesome, awesome time. Thank you, audience members, for tuning in. You guys are great as usual with the questions and the comments and the support. Love you guys. Thank you for the new folks that chimed in. We had some new faces in there, so it was really good. Thank you, those who always tag people and bring them in. Our loyal folks like Makai and Tamanya and all the who's always in every Friday. You can tune in every Friday. I always say every Friday, but it's not true. You can tune in on Fridays at 7. We are here and we have great guests. Like I think it was Caitlin who said she's really enjoying the guests that we've had so far this season. And I think this season we have really stepped our game up and have some really awesome guests. So I can't wait for you guys to see who else we got lined up. But keep tuning in because we got some awesome people coming. Follow the crew and our special guests on their social media pages because we don't just do this. We got other stuff that we do. We are creatives. We are some awesome people. And you can see all the things that we have going on. Make sure you follow and like our Nothing Else to Do Facebook and IG page. We post the new music on there so if you didn't hear who the new music is, it is on our IG page. So you guys can see who PJ picked for new music and something that you may have missed. Subscribe to our new YouTube channel because it used to be on my page, but now we have our own. So you can go back and catch some replays and all that stuff and see. Turn on the live notifications on for here and also the notifications on YouTube. So, in case you forget and you getting busy, it's bing, we ready to go. Thank you again, James. You have been an amazing guest.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we can have you on again. Enjoyed it. Crew, we light this week. But it's okay. Next week we do not have a special guest. I believe the following week we have I'm not even about to lie because I can't think of it right now. So I'm not even about to make it up. I can't even remember who our next special guest is. But next week we do not have a special guest, but we will be celebrating because it is the weekend of my bestie's birthday. Hey. So we go act up either way. So make sure y'all tune in next Friday. You guys, thank you for another great episode. Tune in next week. I know I'm going to see you guys here. Why?
Because you ain't got nothing else to do, bro.
We got to get that together, y'all.